You could soon be able to invest your 401k retirement savings into cryptocurrency, private equity, and real estate. Now, most 401k plans have several investment options that include publicly traded stocks and bonds. Now, a new executive order signed by President Trump directs the SEC, Treasury, and Labor Department to update their rules to give investors access to those new options. Let's bring in ABC News contributor and Sirius XM radio host Mike Muse for the Mike and Ike Hour. Mike, what's going on? Always a pleasure to talk to you. Now, I want to start big picture here, all right? So for people who don't know much about crypto but might be interested, why is crypto becoming such a big market investment option?
The news this week was really special because we're going from a place where crypto has been strongly regulated within the federal government to the federal government taking a different approach from going from regulation to actual rulemaking, which suggests to investors that this is now a good time to do more deep dives into crypto and to be willing to do more investments within the crypto space because it's creating more certainty in the market because of the fact that the federal government is loosening its position by two ways. We saw the White House release a 160-page blueprint plan of how the federal government and recommendations should be looking at crypto, as well as we saw the SEC do Project Crypto, which again is removing some of the regulatory spaces of crypto into rulemaking, really lending its way to creating more innovation in the marketplace for crypto. So all good signs towards more openness for investment.
Now, Mike, some investors encourage a mix of stocks and bonds to diversify your 401k. Is there a benefit to picking a variety of investments now, thinking about cryptocurrency?
Yeah, so if you take everything that I just said, when you think about your traditional 401k in your portfolio, it's always good to do stability with risk, right? And so, but you have to think about crypto and digital assets are extremely risky, but also too has a high value of risk reward. When you're going into the space, you want to think about moving slow and small, and particularly if you're new to the space, because of the fact that it is so volatile of the marketplace. So if you really start small with crypto, and if something happens and it crashes or it goes low, it doesn't impact your portfolio. But if it does have upsides and upswings, it's only positive advantage. So really want to think about going slow and going small and still think of it as an emerging technology asset.
Now, Mike, there were other parts of this, obviously private equity and real estate. Now, private equity firms, they can charge high fees and lock investors in for long periods of time. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of investing in either private equity or real estate?
Great questions. We have to look at it into like three different types of categories of investors. When you think about crypto investments and digital assets investments is really for that investor that has more money to play with for the long term. If you look at private equity investments is usually for wealthy investors and institutional investors who are able to hold on to their investments and assets and securities for the longer time period. When you look at real estate investments, those who typically invest in real estate are looking for more stability in their investments and their assets. But I keep in mind that real estate still is a marketplace asset. And so it still could fluctuate based upon the market and then also too based upon interest rates. So those are the three different ways that you should be thinking about as you look at those three different types of investments. More riskier, more reward. You may have long term to play with it. Private equity, definitely more wealthy investors long term, and real estate is more stability in the marketplace.
All right, Mike, and quickly give me some advice here. Where should someone start when researching cryptocurrencies? Where do I begin?
The best thing that I suggest to my listeners is to always contact trusted financial advisors. That's number one. Contact your local retail branch for advice, and also to do as much work as you can within the internet, and really start to look at now on the SEC websites because now you can understand some of the policies that are coming forward and some of the regulations. But now is the time to really tune in because of the federal government is taking more of a favorable approach to embracing digital currency.
All right, Mike Muse, thank you very much as always.